Next topic is couple. A couple is formed by two unlike parallel forces of the same magnitude but not along the same line. It means their line of action is different. Let's explain the couple by the help of some examples. Example number 1, rotation of a steering wheel. When a driver turns a vehicle, he applies forces that produce a torque. This torque turns the steering wheel. These forces act on opposite sides of the steering wheel as shown in the figure. These two forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction, and their line of action is not same. These two forces form a couple and driver can easily turn the vehicle. Next example is opening or closing of a water tap. In order to open or close a water tap, two forces are applied on the stopcock of the water tap, which are in opposite in direction. So these two forces are equal in magnitude. Their line of action is not same, and hence we can easily open the or close the water tap. You can see the action of these two forces on the water tap in the figure given below. Now, mathematical expression of torque due to couple. In order to find the mathematical expression to calculate the torque due to couple, we will take the example of a double arm spanner. Double arm spanner is used to open a nut. Equal forces, each of magnitude F, are applied on each ends A and B of the spanner in opposite direction as shown in the figure. These forces form a couple that turns the spanner about the point O. Point O is the axis of rotation of this spanner. The torque produced by both the forces of a couple have the same direction. Thus, the total torque produced by the couple will be total torque of the couple is equal to F 1 force OA into OA, its moment arm, plus second force F into its moment arm OB. As F is same, so we can take it common. Inside the bracket you will write OA plus OB. Bracket close. So, torque of the couple is equal to F multiplied by AB. This equation gives the torque produced by a couple of forces F and F separated by distance AB. The torque of a couple is given by the product of one of the two forces and the perpendicular distance between them, where in the above equation F is one of the force and AB is the perpendicular distance between the forces. Now, it is a vector quantity and in SI its units are Newton meter. Next topic is equilibrium. A body is said to be in equilibrium if no net force acts on it. A body in equilibrium thus remains at rest or moves with uniform velocity. Now we will explain it by the help of some examples. There are two types of examples we will discuss here: the examples of objects at rest and the examples of the moving objects. Now, examples of objects at rest. A book on the table. When a book is placed on the table as shown in the figure, two forces are present there. One is the weight of the book which acts in the downward direction. Other force is the reaction of the table which acts in the upward direction. These two forces are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, so they will balance each other and hence cancel the effect of each other. So the book is at rest or it is said to be in equilibrium. The other example is picture hanging on the wall. The picture hanging on the wall is shown in the figure below. The forces present there are weight of the picture which is in the downward direction. Other force is provided by the nail through the string which is in the upward direction. These forces balance each other and hence the picture is at rest or in equilibrium. Third example is forces on a log of wood. Consider a log of wood of weight W supported by ropes as shown in the figure. Here the weight W is balanced by the forces F1 and F2 pulling the log upward. In case so these forces cancel the effect of weight of the log which is in the downward direction and hence the log is at rest or in equilibrium. Now we will discuss the examples of moving objects. In case of objects moving with uniform velocity, the resultant force acting on them is 0. A car moving with uniform velocity. When a car moves with uniform velocity on a leveled road, then it is said to be in equilibrium. The forces present there are: one force is provided by the engine of the car which is in the forward direction. Other force is the resistance of the air which is in the backward direction. These two forces balance each other and hence car moves with or uniform velocity. Next example is the flying aeroplane. An aeroplane flying in the air with uniform velocity is said to be in equilibrium. When aeroplane flies in the air, the force produced by the engine in the downward direction is balanced by the force produced by the air in the upward direction. Hence, it is said to be moving with uniform velocity. Conditions for equilibrium. For a body in equilibrium, it must satisfy certain conditions. There are two conditions for a body to be in equilibrium. First condition for equilibrium. A body is said to satisfy first condition for equilibrium if the resultant of all the forces acting on it is 0. Let n number of forces are acting on a body. These forces are F1, F2, F3, and so on up to Fn. So F1, F2, F3 up to so on Fn forces are acting on a body. Then according to equilibrium, F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus so on plus Fn should be equal to 0. Resultant of all the forces must be equal to 0, or we can write sigma F is equal to 0. The symbol used in the above equation is a Greek letter called sigma, used for summation or to sum up all the values of the forces. The above equation is called the first condition for equilibrium. The first condition for equilibrium can also be stated in terms of x and y components of the forces acting on the body. In terms of x component of the forces, the first condition for equilibrium is written as F1x plus F2x plus so on plus Fnx equal to 0, or sigma Fx equal to 0. Now y component of the forces, y component of the forces. In terms of y component of the forces, the sum of the forces is F1y plus F2y plus F3y plus so on plus Fny equal to 0, or sigma Fy equal to 0. Sum of all the y components of the forces are 0. So in this way we can write the first condition of equilibrium in terms of x and y components of the forces. Now let's discuss some examples. A book lying on a table or a picture hanging on a wall are at rest and thus satisfy first condition for equilibrium. A paratrooper coming down with terminal velocity or constant velocity also satisfies first condition for equilibrium and is thus in equilibrium. First condition for equilibrium does not ensure that a body is in equilibrium. That's why we need second condition for equilibrium. According to second condition, a body satisfies second condition for equilibrium when the resultant torque acting on it is zero. Mathematically, it is written as sigma tau is equal to 0. Tau is the Greek letter to represent the torque, and sigma means the summation or sum of all the torques acting on that body. Now, in order to explain second condition for equilibrium, we are taking consider a body pulled by the forces F1 and F2 as shown in the figure A. These two forces are equal in magnitude but opposite in direction. Both are acting along the same line. Hence, they cancel the effect of each other and resultant will be 0. According to the first condition, the body will be in equilibrium. Now shift the location of these two forces as shown in the figure B. In this situation, the body is not in equilibrium. Still, it satisfies the first condition for equilibrium. It is because the body has the tendency to rotate. So that's why we need another condition for equilibrium, which is known as second condition for equilibrium. Now look at the next figure C, in which two forces are F1 and F2 are applied in the given direction. These forces are producing torque of same magnitude because their momentum and magnitude of the forces is same. One is producing clockwise torque, F1 force, and the other force F2 is producing anti-clockwise torque. These torques are same in magnitude and hence they cancel the effect of each other. The body is said to be at rest, satisfying the second condition for equilibrium.